Hi folks, my name is Steve and today we are going to be talking about starting your board game collection. We're going to be talking about things you can do to get a collection of games that you are happy and proud of and eager to get to the table. So I'm not going to be talking about specific games. This is not a top 5 gateway games or top 5 games that every collection should have. I think those kind of videos are useful, but you need to be aware that they're not going to work for everyone and they may not work for you. So what we're going to talk about is more general ideas within the hobby, some of the things that you can do that are going to set you up and give you an idea about you, about what you like, about what you want to play, and about how you want to engage with the hobby. So first question I would ask, and I think you want to ask yourself, excuse me, is what has brought you into the hobby? Why have you clicked on this video? What excites you and interests you about the hobby? Is it that you've seen a specific game that you are eager to find more about? Have you been watching playthroughs on YouTube that have got you interested or excited? Have you got friends that are already involved in the hobby and you want to get involved in some way? Or is it just a new way to extend your social circle, right? To meet new friends? All of those reasons are perfectly valid, but understanding what it is that has brought you into the hobby or got you interested in learning more about the hobby is going to help you in this journey, and it's going to help you tailor that start of your collection, right? So next thing that we can do before we reach for the credit card, right, which I know everyone, especially when you're starting a new hobby, right, you want to buy all the shiny things, but before we start spending money, we want to try to formulate an idea of what we like and what we're interested in within gaming. So ways that we can do that online without stepping foot outside your own home. You can go and set up an account on Board Game Arena right now for free, and you can start playing board games. Really useful. Go on there, play some games, find out what you like, find out what you don't like, find out what some of these common mechanics are within gaming that you're going to see time and time again. Find out the type of themes that appeal to you and the genres of game that appeal to you. Board Game Arena, sorry, Board Game Geek. Set up an account on Board Game Geek. It's absolutely free. Really good resource to do your research. You can filter games by genre, by type, by top 100. Go and have a look through that list and see what stands out to you. Probably the most important thing that you can do is going to be joining a gaming group, right? Sometimes, if you're not very outgoing and things like that, that might, that suggestion alone might be enough to put you off. But if you can get yourself to a gaming group, it is a really useful resource. You're going to play lots of games, you're going to meet new people, and you're going to find out what you want out of this hobby, which again is one of the most important things. And all the time you're trying to hone in on what you want, what games appeal to you, and what games you want to put into your collection, because this is the most important thing. And this kind of brings me on to talking about the idea of gateway games in general, I think. So gateway games are these kind of simple games that are like a stepping stone to more complex things. They're really good because they introduce common mechanics, but they are not necessarily the only or best route for you to get into gaming, right? Because if you have no interest in the gateway games that are being suggested to you, you're not going to get longevity out of this hobby, and you're not going to enjoy it. If you're here because you've watched a playthrough of Terraforming Mars that seems complicated potentially for you, and then you're kind of looking at Ticket to Ride, and this is the game that's being suggested to you and it has absolutely no appeal to you, just sidestep it. Don't buy it. Don't feel like you've got to tick off a game because people are saying, this should be in your collection or this is a good entry point, right? Because especially for me, speaking personally, I'm much more likely to be able to learn, teach and understand a complex game if it's something I'm engaging with and something I'm interested in and something I want to play, right? I'm going to put the time and effort into learning that and understanding it. than something simple that I've got absolutely no interest in. So if games like Ticket to Ride, Carcassonne, these type of games don't appeal to you, don't don't buy them. Don't put them in your collection. You don't need to. It may be that further down the line, you add some of these more simple games into your collection because you want to introduce new people to the hobby and you think that's a good route. But certainly, don't feel like you can't go out and buy Terraforming Mars, Gloomhaven, Gaia Project. If this is the game that has hooked you in, then take that route, right? Add that collection to your collection because you are going to get more value and benefit out of that than anything else. So, case in point, right? Here is a copy of Fury of Dracula, which I probably bought when I was 12 years old, let's say, early 90s. If you look at this is the original copyright. It is absolutely battered and bruised. Not gonna see this game in any gateway game lists or any every game should have this in your collection list. This right here was probably the first board game I ever bought. Didn't know how to play it, struggled with the rules, made many mistakes over the years, but it has been well played and well loved. And throughout my teens, I made as many friends and family members that I could play this with me, and I have had hundreds of hours of absolute pleasure and glee out of it. So don't feel that you have got to go down the gateway route or the simple games route in order to start in this hobby, right? Start at a place that is comfortable for you and that you are like excited about, right? Fast forward 10 years for me, and I was playing like quite a lot of Magic the Gathering at that time. Went into a hobby store, saw a copy of Twilight Imperium 2nd edition, bought it, played it, stayed up till 5 a.m. many times playing that game. Probably not getting the rules right every time, but having an absolute blast with the game because I was interested and excited and engaged by it, and this is like the most important thing. So my point is that the aim of all of this is to find out what you like and where you fall into this kind of broad spectrum of games, right? And broad spectrum within the hobby. Are you interested or excited by pushing cubes around the Mediterranean and manipulating resource tracks to get victory points? Are you interested and excited by rolling dice to kill zombies, right? Those two sides of the hobby are very different, and sometimes I want both of those. I want this at some point and I want this at other points, depending on who I'm playing with, what mood I'm in, how much time I've got. So that will also dictate some of how you engage with the hobby, right? So some of the things you want to consider is genre and theme. What do you like? What interests you? What artwork do you like? Those kind of things are important. Mechanics. Do you like worker placement? Do you like drafting cards? Do you like rolling dice? Do you like luck? Do you like no luck? These kind of things are going to determine, again, what type of games you should be adding to your collection. Game length is important, right? That is, time is a valuable commodity. If you don't have, if you're busy, if you've got family commitments, if you've got work commitments, be cognizant of that. Just be aware that, if you want to get these games to the table, maybe you do have to look at, shorter length games. Equally, if you've got plenty of time and you're looking to fill out your weekends with board gaming, then, the world's your oyster. There's plenty of long format games that you can play right there. Gaming group also is going to be important, who you're playing with. If this is a Sunday afternoon hobby with the family, be aware of that. It's probably not a good idea to pull out Through the Ages, for a 3-hour epic civilization builder, or 4 hours probably more realistically, with like a young family and things like that. So be aware of that. Complexity and who you're playing with are important, but all the time you are trying to kind of curate and format what you like and what you're interested in. You know, cost as well. We should probably look at cost. This is obviously like a really personal thing, but just be aware, right? It's very easy to spend money in this hobby, and you know, if you've got the money to spend, you know, it's a great way to spend it. It's, you know, you're gonna, you know, get a lot of fun and enjoyment out of it. But just be aware, if you're on a budget, try and stick to that budget. Don't feel like you've got to fill up a Kallax week one, right? You haven't got to have a big board game collection right away. This is a marathon, not a sprint. The objective with starting your collection and getting involved in this hobby is longevity. This is a hobby that you can do for the rest of your life, and you are always going to be adding to your collection. You're always going to be augmenting it. You're always going to be curating it. So take your time with it. Think about what you want. Listen to advice from others. Watch reviews. Watch those gateway game reviews and see which ones appeal to you. Maybe look for those kind of things, but don't feel like you have to go down that route, or that you are simply like ticking them off so you're allowed to go and buy the games you actually want, right? You know, it's board gaming can be a complicated hobby, but you know, learning a board game is ultimately not that difficult. It's certainly not as difficult as people might have you believe, right? If you are engaged and interested in the game and you're prepared to read a rule book and spend a little bit of time, you will work it out, you will solve that puzzle, and you will have a lot of fun on the way, more so than if you're purchasing games to add to a collection because you think you should, right? So do it your way. That is the most important piece of advice I would give anyone starting a collection. Make your collection reflect who you are and what you like. And guys, I think that's about all I can say about it. I've probably rambled on, but hopefully it's given you food for thought and something to think about, because this is an awesome hobby, right? And you want to get it right. So don't rush to spend money. Make sure you're buying the games that you want and that are exciting and interesting to you. And yeah, if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments. Also guys, if you're somehow watching this video and have already got a Kallax full of games, then please leave your comments in below so that people can see how you did it and some of your advice and things like that, because it's super useful for people getting into this hobby to just get the ball rolling and get in and enjoy themselves. But yeah guys, that's everything I want to say for now. So have a good one, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.